Great news! You can go to Star Wars Celebration in your pajamas.
Finally.
Not us, though. We have to wear real clothes.
You're not the boss of me, though!
This week on the Star Wars Show, the animation supervisor for Rogue One, Hal Hickel. We check out a Star Wars variety show and much, much more. Now, from the Lucasfilm headquarters, it's the Star Wars Show.
Hey, I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Andy Gutierrez. Welcome to the Star Wars Show.
The show that is completely panicking because there are only 22 days left until Celebration.
Ooh. Let's go to the news.
Less of a panic, more of a Greek chorus.
They cleared out quickly.
Well, they have a show to keep shooting.
True.
And seeing that we're mere weeks away from Star Wars Celebration Orlando kicking off, we thought it would be a good time to let you know officially that yes, the Star Wars Show will once again be there.
The Star Wars Show will be broadcasting live from the show floor at Star Wars Celebration Orlando to bring you one-on-one interviews with Star Wars celebrities, filmmakers, fans, and more.
I am so excited. The stream, presented by Verizon, kicks off Thursday morning, April 13th, and will continue throughout the weekend, bringing you all of the news, information, and panels you want to see as they happen.
Plus, it's going to be hosted by the two of us again, and we're bringing a plenty of surprises with us. So if you're there, stop by our stage and say hello.
For more information about the stream, check out StarWars.com.
And while we're on the subject of Celebration, Anthony, I think you'll like this one seeing as you're a massive fan. Sarah Michelle Gellar, the seventh sister, will be appearing at Star Wars Celebration, along with the voice of Kanan on Rebels, Freddie Prinze Jr.
Do you think because a Darth Maul can come back from the dead, that maybe a seventh sister can come back from the dead? Would she talk to me about that?
Sure.
The two joined previously announced guests like Vanessa Marshall, Taylor Gray, and Dave Filoni. I just kind of want to talk to her about the lightsabers, the little weed whacker lightsabers that she had, the Inquisitor ones that were good.
I'm sure she'll have tons of answers for you. LEGO has just announced a brand new snowspeeder set.
The T-47 snowspeeder consists of 1,703 pieces and includes a Rebel snowspeeder pilot and a snowspeeder gunner who may or may not feel like he can take on the Empire by himself.
It's not Dak.
In my headcanon, it is. The kit also comes with a display stand and plaque and will make its official debut to the public at Star Wars Celebration and will go on sale on May the 4th.
Finally this week, IDW has announced that they'll be publishing a new book next month, reprinting, for the first time ever, the classic Star Wars newspaper comic strips from 1979 to 1984 in a 3-volume series.
The first volume, which you see right here, contains all 575 sequential comic strips from March 11th, 1979 to October 5th, 1980, including Color Sundays. I was flipping through it earlier. It's a really nice book.
The first volume is available this May.
And for more Star Wars news from around the galaxy, check out StarWars.com.
David Collins here at the Largo Theater in Hollywood, California for the Star Wars Join the Resistance book release variety show. We've been promised a lot of variety, celebrities, comedy sketches, music. Come on, let's go check it out. I am here with co-creator of Thrilling Adventure Hour and co-author of Star Wars Join the Resistance, Ben Acker. This is a bit of a surprise party for you tonight.
Well, kind of. When we do an event and there's a lot of songs in it, Blacker likes to surprise me with stuff.
I want to welcome to the stage our dear friend, Weird Al Yankovic.
Long time ago, in a galaxy far away.
Tonight you're playing Yoda for charity.
I'm playing Yoda for charity. We'll see, guys. Fingers crossed.
Do or do not. There is no try.
I think it's really great that people have such reverence still for all the Star Wars movies, and it's really a community, it's really a family, like everybody comes together in the same spirit.
The fate of Jar Jar Binks is that he has stepped away from the Galactic Senate and is now a street performer in the streets of Naboo.
Yeah.
How does this sit with you?
A little bit true to life.
What do you love about events like this in particular?
It's always a good time. People come to an event like this to let their Greek flag fly and have a good time.
Besides enjoying pizza, you're going to be playing some music tonight.
I am going to be playing music tonight. I have ridiculously and foolishly agreed to sing a few Star Wars sea shanties.
Way, hey, the force is rising. Way, hey, the force is rising.
Now, how did this book come about?
Goonies and Star Wars. A bunch of kids join the Resistance, like the title, but they're green, they're screw-ups, they're young, and so instead of that, they get into trouble. It's adventures and goof-arounds in Star Wars.
Remember, Star Wars Join the Resistance is out in bookstores now. Be sure to check it out.
The captain says you are a friend. I will not kill you.
This week, we are joined on a couch by ILM animation supervisor Hal Hickel. And I just want to start by saying congratulations. You just got a very prestigious recognition here within ILM this week. 20 years with the company.
It's flown by.
Yeah.
20 years. It's crazy.
What has changed here over the past 20 years?
You know, it's interesting. Of course, all the technology has changed, but the job of the animator, that job hasn't changed a whole lot. There are new techniques now, like motion capture and facial motion capture for creating characters like we did with Alan Tudyk as K2.
With the advances in technology and what you can do with computer animation, where do you find the line between keeping things really Star Wars-y, but also pushing things forward?
That was the tricky thing. I mean, it was really exciting to get to add a new droid, and Gareth was very keen to explore how we might make him more expressive in his face. And we tried a bunch of different things, including moving mouth parts and different things, but ultimately, none of those things felt like they fit. One thing we did keep was the ability to rotate his eyes, which is something we hadn't seen in Star Wars droids before, and that helped communicate thinking more than anything else.
You also worked with Neil Scanlon. Can you tell me a little bit about that process?
We got to collaborate with him on one creature, mainly because that creature's role kind of changed a little bit from its inception, and this was Borgullet. So they built Borgullet originally to kind of sit in a corner with the tendrils reaching out to do its interrogating, but it was decided later to have a sort of grander entrance for Borgullet, and so we had to kind of graft on a bigger CG body with bigger tentacles, but the head of it and the close-ups of the eyes and things are still Neil's group.
When you saw Star Wars, the story goes that you wrote Gary Kurtz your plot for a sequel, correct?
Yeah, I heard they were going to make a sequel, and I sent this letter off, and a little while back I got a very kind typewritten letter from Gary Kurtz's assistant, Bunny Alsop, who was very sweet. She personally answered my letter, and it was on this very cool Ralph McQuarrie letterhead. On the one hand, I was sort of crushed, but it sort of sunk in later how cool it was.
And you held on to it.
I held on to it, and when we finished making Phantom Menace, George signed it, underlined talent and luck, said you have it, and so it's sort of, you know, closing a very large circle for me.
That's wonderful. That's a great story. What else do you think is kind of a trait that someone needs to have to be successful in your career path?
Don't wait to be invited or for the perfect situation. In other words, a lot of people will put off starting animation until they're in the perfect animation program that they wanted to get into, or they have some piece of equipment that they didn't have before, a more powerful computer or a better camera. I say, don't put it off. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Just get on with it and do it.
Well, thank you so much for coming by. This was a lot of fun.
Andy, can we speak briefly about last week's episode of Rebels?
Sure. You mean the part where Maul finally died?
Spoilers.
It's been almost a week. He's not getting any more deader.
That's true. The second time you die is the final death.
Yeah.
Biologists agree on this.
It's science. And now, to honor his legacy, we want to see your version of Maul's now infamous Kenobi scream.
Take a video of yourself and submit it to us on Twitter with the hashtag Kenobi! That's 5 eyes. 5 eyes. Not 4 eyes, not 6 eyes. 7 is right out. And we will show our favorites on next week's episode.
Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.
Kenobi!
That had 6 eyes.
Wow. Willing to judge. Willing to set the rules. Gutierrez!
No!